Baalbek was chosen as this specific site. It may well be some kind of special power place.
This isn't just about ancient ruins. It's about a buried truth that mainstream history refuses to acknowledge. Graham Hancock has long challenged the academic world, asking questions others won't. What if civilization didn't begin 6,000 years ago? What if something older, far older, once thrived?
Common iconography, there's common myths and traditions, and there's common spiritual ideas that are found all around the world.
Only to be wiped away by a global cataclysm. Now, discoveries from Zambia to Japan seem to echo his claims. From half-million-year-old wooden structures to underwater stone anomalies, the evidence is growing.
One particular point of Africa that there's multiple locations.
This is the out of Africa theory. I think it's more than a theory, it's really strongly evident.
If Hancock is even partly right, then our timeline is broken, and the real story of humanity is still hidden beneath layers of forgotten time. The Forgotten Builders of Zambia, 476,000 years ago. In the flowing waters beneath Kalambo Falls in northern Zambia, archaeologists made a discovery that has stunned the scientific world. A wooden structure nearly 500,000 years old. That's not a typo. Dated to around 476,000 years ago, this find doesn't just predate the pyramids or Stonehenge. It predates Homo sapiens. Let that sink in. This structure, made of carefully shaped logs fitted together with a kind of notching technique, suggests that our distant ancestors, perhaps Homo heidelbergensis, had the skill, knowledge, and intent to build things that lasted. Possibly a platform, walkway, or shelter base, it speaks of design and purpose, not chance. What's more, the site has yielded stone tools, ancient pollen, and fragments of other wooden objects. For decades, archaeologists believed early humans were primitive scavengers with little ability to shape the world around them. But this discovery flips that idea on its head. As Graham Hancock often argues, the deeper we dig, the older the story gets, and the more advanced it becomes. This is not just a structure, it's a message, long buried and water-worn, whispering from a time almost beyond imagination. We were here, and we built. The Lion Gate of Mycenae, power carved in stone. Standing at the entrance of the ancient city of Mycenae in Greece is a gateway so bold, so commanding, it feels more myth than reality. The Lion Gate, built around 1250 BCE, is more than a passageway. It's a declaration of dominance. Massive stone blocks frame the entrance, crowned by two proud lion figures flanking a central column. The symbolism is striking. Strength, royalty, protection. But what truly stirs the mystery is the scale and precision of the construction. Each block weighs tons. No mortar, no modern machinery. Yet the stones fit together flawlessly. And the lions, carved in relief, still guard their forgotten kingdom. It was Heinrich Schliemann, the controversial 19th-century archaeologist inspired by Homer's tales, who unearthed this wonder. But even now, questions remain. How did a Bronze Age civilization achieve such architectural sophistication? Why do similar monumental gates appear across the ancient world, in different cultures, with the same motifs? Graham Hancock suggests we may be seeing echoes of a forgotten legacy. Scattered ruins linked by a memory we no longer recognize. The Lion Gate is not just an entrance to Mycenae. It may be a threshold to a much older story we've yet to fully decode. Japan's Atlantis, the Yonaguni Monument. Off the coast of Yonaguni, Japan, something lies beneath the waves, geometric and impossibly precise. Known as the Yonaguni Monument, this underwater structure has fueled decades of debate. Is it natural? Or did humans, perhaps from a forgotten civilization, carve it more than 10,000 years ago? Discovered in 1986 by local diver Kihachiro Aratake, the monument features broad terraces, straight edges, sharp corners, and even what appears to be a staircase. Some see it as Japan's own Atlantis. Others dismiss it as nothing more than a geological quirk. But the deeper divers go, the more questions arise. How do natural forces create right angles on this scale? Could an ancient civilization have existed here before the end of the last ice age, when sea levels were dramatically lower? Graham Hancock has long argued that rising oceans after a global cataclysm may have buried entire chapters of human history, and Yonaguni might be one of them. If even part of this site was shaped by human hands, it would force a massive rewrite of prehistory. Underwater and almost forgotten, Yonaguni may not just be ruins, it might be the surviving bones of a civilization we were never meant to remember. Twin tombs across continents. The mystery of dolmens. Scattered across Europe and Japan, thousands of ancient dolmens stand silent and immovable. Massive vertical stones, topped with a single flat slab, forming what appear to be burial chambers, or perhaps something more. These megalithic tombs date back to the Neolithic and early Bronze Age, some over 6,000 years old. But here's the riddle. Why are they so strikingly similar despite being oceans apart? In the forests of the Kanto region in Japan and the green fields of France, Ireland, and the Iberian Peninsula, dolmens share nearly identical structure and scale. No written records, no direct cultural links, just the stones, massive, deliberate, and hauntingly familiar. Mainstream archaeology chalks it up to coincidence or independent invention. But thinkers like Graham Hancock wonder if these similarities are clues to a lost global knowledge, one passed down or inherited from an earlier, forgotten epoch. Were ancient peoples tapping into a shared memory, building sacred spaces guided by something deeper than survival? These dolmens weren't just tombs. They were gathering places, ritual centers, silent monuments to something profound.
Maybe they weren't just tombs. Maybe they were gathering places, temples, portals between the living and the dead.
And if two vastly distant civilizations built them the same way, maybe, just maybe, they remembered a story we've since erased. Now, first, like always, be sure to hit the like button down below. It helps us out tremendously with the reach of this video. Thank you. The enigma beneath China. Longyou Caves. In 1992, a farmer in China's Zhejiang province decided to drain a pond. What he uncovered was not a small surprise, but the entrance to a lost world. Beneath the surface lay the Longyou Caves, a sprawling network of 24 hand-carved chambers cut directly into solid siltstone. No records, no inscriptions, just smooth walls, massive columns, and symmetrical layouts, all buried in silence for over 2,000 years, maybe more. Each cave is enormous, some rising over 30 meters high. Together, they cover around 30,000 square meters. The amount of rock removed is staggering, over 1 million cubic meters, and yet no tools, debris, or evidence of construction have ever been found. That's what makes the Longyou Caves one of ancient history's most confounding puzzles. What civilization had the manpower, precision, and vision to create this underground complex? And why would they do it in total secrecy? The entire surface of the walls is etched with parallel chisel marks, repeating across all chambers as if by one coordinated plan. Graham Hancock and other alternative historians see this as further proof, echoes of forgotten engineering and intelligence. The Longyou Caves aren't just empty spaces. They're evidence that something, or someone, knew more than we ever imagined. Baalbek. The stones that shouldn't exist. In the ancient city of Baalbek, Lebanon, lies one of history's greatest enigmas.
Baalbek was chosen as this specific site. It may well be some kind of special power place.
Stone blocks so massive that they seem impossible, even by today's standards. The Temple of Jupiter, part of the Baalbek temple complex, sits atop a foundation built with stones weighing up to 1,000 tons. The most famous among them, the Stone of the Pregnant Woman, remains partially buried in a nearby quarry, perfectly cut, waiting for a transport that never came. How did ancient builders move these megaliths? And why use such colossal stones in the first place? Mainstream theories suggest sleds, ramps, and massive labor forces. But even then, the logistics defy belief. The placement is too precise, the cuts too clean. Graham Hancock points to Baalbek as a fingerprint of a forgotten civilization, one that possessed advanced engineering knowledge we've lost. The temple complex wasn't just built by the Romans, as often claimed. The foundation may be far older, inherited by later empires who merely built upon what remained. Baalbek's stones are not just massive, they're a challenge, a quiet defiance of what we think ancient people could do, and perhaps a clue that the deeper story of human civilization lies beneath layers of forgotten stone. The Sky Fortress of Sigiriya, Lion Rock of Sri Lanka. Rising 200 meters above the forests of central Sri Lanka is a rock that holds secrets carved into its very core. Sigiriya, known as Lion Rock, isn't just a fortress. It's a statement of power, ambition, and brilliance from a civilization many have overlooked. Built in the 5th century CE by King Kashyapa, this ancient citadel blends natural geology with sophisticated architecture in ways that seem far ahead of its time. To enter the palace complex, visitors once walked through the open jaws of a massive lion sculpture, now lost to time, save for its giant paws carved into the rock. Atop the summit, a royal palace once stood, surrounded by water gardens, fountains, and advanced urban planning. Below, the mirror wall reflects faded yet haunting frescoes, portraits of celestial maidens painted with extraordinary grace. What's remarkable is not just the engineering, but the vision. Building such a complex on sheer rock required precision, coordination, and creativity. Graham Hancock sees places like Sigiriya as remnants of a wisdom tradition, architecture not just as shelter, but as sacred space. Sigiriya is more than a stronghold. It's a puzzle in stone, whispering of a kingdom that touched the sky and left behind a masterpiece. History, as we've been taught, is only part of the story. The deeper we dig, the more it begins to unravel, revealing traces of knowledge, precision, and ambition that don't quite fit the official timeline. From underwater cities to forgotten caves, from massive stone blocks to ancient wooden shelters, these structures speak for those who can't. Graham Hancock urges us to question, to look again, and to wonder what else lies hidden beneath our feet. If even one of these mysteries points to a forgotten chapter, then everything we think we know about our past may need to be rewritten.